Hi, Sandy here. So my last video, which I did yesterday, I glued together a whole bunch of tags and borders, and I did a few glue pages, and this was the last thing I wanted to do on that video, and my camera shut down. My video ended up being an hour and 20 minutes long, and I guess my SD card ran out of time, so you just saw the beginnings of this on the last video. But what I wanted to point out was this right here. I printed this from Pinterest. It's these birds on this printed background, newsprint or whatever you want to call it. And I added these two bugs and this stamp. But I just really like this, and this really inspires me. And this is my latest scrapbook that I'm going to fill up. It's like, most of them are like 11 by 16, so I'm assuming this is about that size. And most of them have like 25 pages, so by the time I fill up both sides, it's 50 pages, which is what I do almost all of my scrapbooks, about 50 pages. A lot to fill up in this book, and I just counted the pages, and if I counted right, there's 46. So that means there will be 92 pages, I believe. 92 pages. So this is going to be my biggest book ever, and it's going to be Victorian themed. But I was so inspired by this, I wanted to make some of those. And I have a lot of birds, and you can do almost anything. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to make a few things. So I'm going to start with this one. This is a bird that I cut out. I bought a little book of pictures of birds. Some of them are like vultures and stuff that I probably never will use. But there's a lot of nice birds in there. So I fussy cut this out. And I actually, you probably have your own way, but I actually cut his leg off here. I just cut right through. Well, I didn't cut it off, but I cut through it so I could get in that little hole. And then I've got this envelope. I actually had another one, and it was like kind of dizzying to look at. So I'm going to use this area right here and save this print paper. Oh, sometimes that happens to me. I don't know why. There we go. Didn't want that part anyway. Okay. And I want it all about there. Okay, so this is free paper. Free paper. So I'm going to glue that on there. This is not newsprint, but I like the background better than the original background. It's more interesting to me. So, and you can have the things hanging off the edge a little bit. I think I will on this one. That tail's a little bit fragile, but I think it'll be okay. And then when I actually use it, maybe I won't right now, I'll do something. Where's my stamps? Postage. There. And I might add a couple more things when I actually use it. But there's a nice, what would you call it, an embellishment or a nice image for a glue book page. Okay, now, moving on. This is something that I printed from Pinterest, and I cut it out. And then I have this scrapbook paper, and I tried her in all the corners, and I decided I like this corner the best. And I don't want to lose this lady. I want to save that for something else, and this for something else. I don't want to waste that. So, well, I don't need to make any marks, I don't think. So I'm going to trim it about here. Well, I'm going to cut off the top of that lady's head a little bit, but that's alright. I didn't cut that quite far enough. Okay. So now I'm going to get her glued up. And she fits right there in the corner. And I think she looks good on there. I didn't notice until I printed it, but this is some kind of an animal fur, and the head is right there. There's the eyes and the nose. I don't know why anybody would want to keep the animal's head on their fur. That's not nice, but this is very pretty. So there's another embellishment. And then this one is going to be a little bit more work. I got this teddy bear. I printed that from Pinterest, and it was not too big, and I fussy cut it out. So now I'm just going to use a scrap of paper and make it all. I'm not going to measure anything. I'm just estimating about that big. And what I'm going to do is well, you know what? I'm going to trim that a little bit smaller so that this I'll be able to use that piece of paper. And that side's crooked anyway. See that? It was crooked. Okay. So I'm going to start by, I'm just going to patchwork in some scraps. So I'll start with this. And some things, once I get it all glued together, some things don't look good on a really cluttered background, and other things do, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to tear this map. I think I will put this here, yeah. And then, yeah, this map will fill in this corner. I think I'll lay out my scraps before I... I'm going to tear this just to make it a little more interesting. And it may end up getting all covered up by the teddy bear, but we'll see. This is some beautiful scrapbook paper that my friend Teresa gave me, and it's very thick, and I'm sure it was rather expensive. And I really, really like it. Okay. So I'm going to cut that. Well, I'll glue it on first, and then I'll cut off the edge. Okay. Now that edge is going to look good on there. I was not going to trim it off. So I need to glue to about those keys. Then I need my scissors, excuse my reach. I have have a long wooden box that I built with sections on that back of my desk, and it's just, I just love it. I keep all my pencils and markers and my tools and scissors and all kinds of stuff in it. And I keep it all handy. Okay. I didn't use the music paper. So now I can add this on. And I would guess you can make these magazine paper size, magazine size, you know, or a smaller, or any size, any shape. You could make them round or oval. I'm going to find something to put on there. But I'm thinking a heart. Yeah. Oh, well, I missed out on my music sheet. This tore when I pulled it off, but I'm going to use it anyway. Oh, too bad it's brown on brown, but that's fine. See, this is torn. You know what? No, quick. I am going to distress ink the edge a little bit. I don't know if I'm doing this right, but this is how I do it. Okay. See, I tore it, taking it off that page. I had it glued on, but I don't care. There. Oh, this is so sweet. And I got a little white edge on here. I'm going to trim that off. There. Well, that one was really fun. Okay, now I've got this bird. And I think I like this side better. I'm going to trim this paper. This is paper that I tea dyed. So I'm going to cut off the edges, get some music on there instead of a lot of plain background. That's weird, that was kind of crooked. Okay. Oh, why does it do that? Take it easy, Sandy. There we go. And he's going to go, you know what, I think I'll glue him on first and then I'll trim after I get him on there. Then I'll be able to estimate how big I want to trim that page. And I've learned don't try to trim through stuff that you have just glued on, because it'll move and catch and tear. But I'm not going to be cutting through this bird, so it'll be alright. It's funny, the things that can just inspire you, you know. I like getting inspired. He's holding a sunflower seed in his mouth. Okay, so I'm going to cut it about here. Take it easy, Sandy. Don't overdo it. Okay, then here. There, isn't that pretty? This is fun. Okay, I've got this. I don't think this side is very straight. No, so I'm going to straighten it out some. Just a piece of scrap paper I have. And that just happens to be the size, and I say, well, that'll do. I think I'll turn it this way. It's got some music notes on it, and the right side up would be like that. And that's good. Okay, so I fussy cut this one. And I cut through his little, is that his hind leg? Yeah, I cut through his hind leg to get in that hole, and I cut this little branch, and it'll all be pieced back together as I glue it down. So, you know, you can use almost anything. I love Victorian stuff, and I do use birds and stuff in my Victorian stuff. Whatever subjects that you like. I do a lot of other things too, besides Victorian, but whatever makes you happy. You know, there's just no limit to this idea. This is just really cool. I'm really glad I tried this. I have a feeling I'm going to be making a lot more of these. There. Beautiful. And then I've got this bird and a page book, and I tea-dyed this one too. So, do you guys cut the unprinted edges off your newsprint? I do. I don't know why, but I think I don't really want that on there. Okay, the same thing. I'm going to glue this on first. And then, okay, it goes like this. Yeah, and he's going to hang off the edge a little bit. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and trim it. There. And what size do I like better? Definitely this side. It's got more printing. Okay. So I'll get this bird glued up. My branch is about to get disconnected from his body. We'll see. But that's okay. I can glue it back on. Okay, so I think I'll put him right about there. And he's hanging off the side a little bit, and that's just fine. But I don't like this branch hanging off the edge, so I'm going to trim that to fit the page. There. That's so cool. Then I've got this bird, Mama feeding 3 babies. And then I've got this scrapbook paper, which is postage stamps. So let's see if I cut it off about there, which is not going to be easy because I think I need to measure it, make sure it's going to be straight, because I don't have a straight edge to line up. So where's my ruler? And I need a pencil. So I think I will make it about 5 inches. So mark it 5 there. And there. Okay, now I can line that up and cut it. Alright. And I need to cut this edge straight. And I'm thinking I'm going to leave this edge crooked, and it can kind of overlap something on the page. Yes, I like that. This one was a lot of fussy cutting out his legs and those baby birds and the branch. Okay. So I'm going to line up the bottom and the edge of the branch on the edges. And you don't really have to, but that's just how I want it to be. So we'll smooth this out. And I cut the legs off to get up in the other places and glued all together. It's just fine. Okay, yes, I like that. And I got one more. I think I will go ahead and glue this on here. What side do I like the best? Is there a top or a bottom? Not really. Oh, I like this. I like these different patterns coming together. But I'm going to glue this on first. Then I'll cut it, because then I can cut it to fit the picture. A little higher, because his tail feathers almost hung off the bottom edge. I gotta get this bar that they're sitting on kind of straight. There. Now I will cut it right here. And how much top background do I want on there? Maybe about that much. And I need to trim this a little bit more to get it to match up. There. So that's the last one I'm going to do here today, and that's a short, quick video for you. So this is what I have. These are going to look great on Gluebook pages. What I did 8 of them. Fast and easy, really. And that was fun, and I will be doing a lot more of those. They're going to be great. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Bye-bye.